Hi Pisces, this is your forecast for the month of July 2016. This is a general reading for Pisces Sun, Pisces Rising, or Pisces Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, provided on the link at the upper corner. If you have visited the site before, you'll need to clear your browser's cache for the schedule button to function properly. So Pisces, for you, the week begins with the Three of Pentacles. And so teamwork is important, working with others, or doing a job well done. So this could be a week where you're trying to make beneficial use of any talents or skills that you have, or maybe you're trying to improve your skills and you're putting in some sincere effort on something. For some of you, this could be a week where you have increased status in some way, whether that's assistance from others, or maybe you're providing something for other people. Maybe you get a chance to earn some money this week. But this is a card of self-improvement in some way. A card of, raising the standards, whether that's to gain some kind of certification, learn something new, or make some kind of progress that's tangible. Now, for some of you, maybe you're working on your property. Maybe you're doing some home and property improvements. Some of you may be even changing your residence. There could be interviews or conferences or face-to-face meetings. This is a card that can be about the group dynamic. So this week, if you have something that you've had in the works, and that some venture that you've started, or some relationship that you began, this could be a good week for you to move that forward and solidify that in some way. And you've taken into account what's working, what's not working. This could also be a good week for you if you had anything that you started and now you could be wrapping it up. This is a good week to conclude some situations, some projects, or any studies that you've been working on. And you're very conscientious about saving rather than spending. Now, for some of you, because this is a card about assistance and teamwork, you could feel that, the situations that you're involved in, or the relationships that you're connected to, you may feel as if something about those is holding you back from actually doing what you want, or achieving what your goals are, or getting what you feel you deserve. Especially if you're constantly having to meet the demands of people who are needy or insecure or overly emotional. And so if you're involved in those kinds of situations, this could be a week where the accusations fly, and one or the other of you could feel as if the person is misrepresenting who they are, whether that is financially or emotionally. So if you're having to deal with a lot of emotional and personal clutter, then for you, this is not the week to start something new, because that's going to be a distraction and you won't get as far as you'd hoped in a situation. You won't grasp what you need to. You may not learn as quickly. You may not accomplish as much because you have all of this other distraction happening around you. And this is also a week where if you have to do any kind of traveling, it could be very complicated or costly or frustrating for you this week. Now, the second week, you have the Seven of Wands. And so you're trying to gain an advantage, or maybe you're taking some important stance on something. You believe in whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you're standing up for yourself, or you're, acting with some conviction. Maybe you're even being aggressive or defiant, but you are intent on standing your ground. Now, for some of you, maybe you're taking a calculated risk. Again, the previous week, you came to terms with, well, this works, this doesn't work, I know exactly how to do this, this is what I need to accomplish, and this is what I need to do it. This could be a week where you're taking that information and you're deciding to step out there. And perhaps in some way you are working to beat the odds in something. But this could be a week where something is coming to a head, but you feel a strong sense of purpose about what you're doing. Now, the issue is, though, while you feel, strong in your position, you need to be careful that you are flexible, because the more adaptable you are this week, the more you stand to gain. So even if you have to deal with something that's upsetting or not quite going your way, remember to be flexible, because that's the way that you're going to make progress. This is going to be a week where you're going to have this mix of both opportunity and challenge. And so whatever it is that you're hoping to accomplish, you're definitely going to have to put in the time, energy, and the persistence to reach a goal. And it doesn't matter how big, simple, or complex it is, you're going to have to be more persistent. Now, this could be a week where others are seeking you out. Maybe they're asking you for some advice, or they're asking you for your help, in which case it's going to be necessary for you to have to rearrange your schedule and reprioritize. So while you're firm in your position, be direct, but maintain a sense of objectivity, because if you come across as non-threatening, you're able to inspire others, and in turn you can accomplish more, you can work harder, and you can inspire other people to work harder. And so, especially if they don't feel as if you're judging them or pushing them, if they feel that you're simply rallying around a cause, and they feel a sense that they're needed in the effort, you're likely to accomplish more. Now, for some of you, you're going to feel as if other people can't please you, or you can't please other people, regardless of how much you're trying to or how hard you're working. And you could easily fall into this sense of victimization. But this is probably going to be largely due to not giving in, feeling as if you have to stand firm, being unyielding. So be careful about taking your frustrations out on other people without realizing it. This could be a week where you need to reconsider your position, no matter how strongly you feel about something. Now, the third week, you have the Knight of Wands. So perhaps you're dealing with a fire sign person. This could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, male or female. Or it could be that people or situations embody the traits of this knight. So this could be a week where you're doing some traveling or some negotiating. Maybe you're in competition with someone, or maybe you're enthusiastic about some enterprise that you've started. Maybe you're involved in some new project. Maybe you're an entrepreneur or an entertainer. Maybe you're on a romantic quest, but you are enthusiastic and ready to move on something. And so this could be a very energetic week. But it could also be very difficult for you to commit to something. Maybe you feel, this could be a week where you decide, I really just want to relax, I want to have fun, and that's what I want to focus on. Because this knight sometimes has trouble committing to situations. But this is a week that's likely to be fast-paced, on the move. Some of you might be traveling. For some of you, there could be some discord or quarrels, but this is a high energy week with a lot of coming and going. And so it's possible that, because there's passion fueling things, that you could suddenly begin something or end something, some pursuit or some relationship. It's also possible that this week you might accept some offer, some proposal, a date, anything that's put on the table, even if you hadn't expected to. Or you could surprise yourself by putting something out there. You could be the one making an offer or making the first move. So maybe you decide you're going to partner up with somebody that you've known in the past, or somebody new. But because this night is always on a quest for adventure, be careful of being tempted to take a risk with a venture or a partnership, because it could be that you're not quite thinking things through and you'll regret it sooner than later. Now, this is a week where your intuition is going to be very enhanced. The problem is timing is going to be at play here. And so your timing can be off this week, and you will find that some situation, timing is an issue. So either you thought you were going to lose and then you won, or you expected to win and lo and behold, you lost. So this week is a crapshoot, even though your intuition is on point, the timing of something is going to be critical. Now, the last week you have the Seven of Pentacles. And so it seems like perhaps there's some frustrating delays, or maybe you're waiting on something. Maybe you've planted the seeds for something and now you're waiting for the return on that. And maybe you're taking stock, you're making an assessment. But this card is about slow and steady growth. So if you started a project, maybe you are reevaluating it or you're waiting for the results, but this is a week that calls for patience. This is something connected to the long term. And maybe during this week, there's even a lull in the development of that. Some of you are having to make some choices. Maybe that's between taking a risk or being secure. For others of you, maybe you feel like you've put in the effort and you're just not getting back what you thought. And there can be sort of a sense of futility or wasted effort. Or maybe you stopped just short before you got the return. But you may feel as if there's something missing, or that you're working without getting the due reward for it. But whatever it is that's going on for you, this week you're going to take a closer look at the endeavors, the projects, the relationships, the situations that you have been investing your time, your money, or your emotions. Now, it's possible that in this reevaluation process that you realize there's a mutual respect between you and the parties that you are involved with. But it could be that if you're encountering any kind of negativity, any resistance, or any confusion, that this is going to be the last straw for you, that you've had it, you just can't deal with it anymore, and it may trigger you to take your irritation and your frustration out on other people. Or perhaps something has gone wrong, you didn't get the return you expected, maybe you're resentful about something, or you're carrying something with you, you're nursing a grievance. And this could be especially so, maybe you're worrying unduly, or you're blowing things out of proportion, especially if you feel that there's some risk to you in some way, that maybe even your earning potential is at jeopardy. So this could be a week where if things are slow, if there's a lull, maybe you're not getting the return that you had hoped on a project, or the money hasn't come in yet. This could be a week where you just really need to think about what you can do to produce some additional income, or maybe revise your budget or restructure certain aspects of your relationships or your life. Now, the underlying energy is the Hanged Man, and Pisces, you have a strong connection to this card. This card is ruled by Neptune, so you could be central to events this month. But this is a card about either things are kind of hanging in limbo, maybe there's whatever was taking place now has kind of slowed down, or maybe you have decided you're just taking your time for something. Maybe you are, committed to something, and you're putting in the time and effort, and you're growing something. But this is a card about being suspended or hanging in limbo, and it could call for you to make some sacrifices, to be adaptable or flexible, or to accommodate yourself in some way through a readjustment, because maybe there's a crossroad that you've encountered, or something unexpected with regard to your domestic situation or your career. But it's likely you're going to have to surrender to an opposing viewpoint. You're possibly having to give in to something and let go of how you wanted it to be and your personal will, so something greater or bigger that's at stake can be accommodated. So this month could be sort of a testing period for you. So it's important for you to maintain your composure. So the more objective that you can be about yourself, about the situations that you're in, that's the way that you're going to make progress. And so if you take a fresh perspective, this is going to help you understand what has been happening in your life, so that you can make peace with what has gone before and reevaluate your goals for the future and have greater clarity in doing so. So again, this is a month that calls for patience and perseverance to remain focused on your goals. So it could be, that you're trying to gain an advantage by improving your skills in some way, and working with others, and having to feel passionate about something that you've started, and now you're waiting on the return from that. Perhaps it's not moving as quickly as you'd hoped, but again, patience and perseverance. So this could be a month where it's easier for you to be realistic in making your decisions in order to achieve your goals. And so your sense of tranquility and maintaining that sense of equilibrium is going to help you and protect you from any kind of setbacks or any delays that you're encountering. So regardless of what goes on around you, even if you're having to, come to terms or butt heads a little bit with other people, this sense of peace is going to allow you to not feel guilty if other people are trying to make you do so, because you're going to know that you did what you were supposed to and you put in the effort, and so you're able to withstand that. Now, for some of you, though, this is a month where you're going to go overboard and make some unnecessary sacrifices to accomplish something that really is not serving you, and it doesn't provide anything of value to the situation. So if you have any kind of self-doubt, any hesitation, or you have the tendency to give in and follow the path of least resistance, this is going to be non-constructive. If you tend to take the easy road, whether that's best for you or a situation, obviously that's not going to be constructive. So you have to be, again, objective in your outlook. It could be for some of you that if you're frustrated about a situation and you've put that away or tried to close the door on it and not really dealt with your emotions the way you should, it could be more difficult for you to avoid taking this resentment that you're not dealing with and taking your frustration out on situations or people who really don't deserve it. And you could find that as soon as you take care of one thing, here's another loose end for you to tie up. So regardless of how ready you are to start moving in a new and better direction, this could be a month where you could be very tempted to fall back quickly on self-limiting, self-defeating habits and attitudes. So again, this is a month where your composure and your objectivity is being tested. So it appears that this month there is some kind of opportunity for you that you are considering, and maybe you're going over your finances as well. And so the more that you trust your own instincts, the more that you can remain objective, the easier it will be for you to avoid being intimidated or manipulated by others. You're also weighing your options, and again, finances, that could be an issue. Budgeting and juggling a lot of decisions or obligations or responsibilities could be part of the situation. But there is a definite need to maintain your composure, your sense of peace, try to work with others, take an approach, an inspiring approach rather than a confrontational attitude, and you will stand to gain a lot more. Also know that whatever you're involved with, it appears that it's going to take some time, that you've planted the seeds and you're waiting for it to grow, and so it's going to take some time. All right, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I would greatly appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and kind comments. For those of you who have already offered your support, please know that I am especially grateful, and I hope you have a wonderful July, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.